It's intensely personal. It's getting more personal. They're going to discover more information that's going to make them angry. They're out to salvage their reputation. So there's not going to be an easy way to walk away from this and say, okay, let's just call it a day.
She wants different rules for her than she wants for Baldoni and his team, which I don't think the judge will agree with.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds find themselves in a precarious legal situation as their case begins to unravel spectacularly. Allegations of bribery, the use of fake witnesses, and questionable legal tactics have surfaced.
So her testimony is super important in this case. And if you can show the jury that she's lied, juries don't like liars.
Exposing a web of deceit that threatens to dismantle their credibility. Judge Lyman presiding over the case.
Well, actually, what I said last time is, of the 92-8 split, which is 92% of cases settled and 8 don't, this does meet criteria of being within that 8% because it's intensely personal.
Sees through their Hollywood manipulation, leading to a rapid decline in the strength of their arguments.
And, so I think there could be some argument about whether it was leaked and shouldn't have been leaked and should they have the information or what it may be. But no matter what happens, this is a damning quote.
Lively, believing she could waltz into court with emotional appeals and a sprinkle of legal jargon.
This dispute, these words that were said by Lively's side had a clear, immediate negative impact on Baldoni's career.
Quickly realizes that her strategy has backfired. The judge, unimpressed by her theatrics.
But what I think we're seeing now with this quote is WME absolutely got rid of him because of these things that were said. And so now he's got a clear line to get damage support.
Categorizes the lawsuit as nothing more than a public relations stunt rather than a serious legal endeavor.
I think this is inching towards that percentage of lawsuits that don't settle. We could very well see a trial in this case.
The importance of Lively's testimony is overshadowed by the jury's inherent distrust of dishonesty.
If you have somebody who has a significant amount of power in the industry and has the ability to tell stars not to go on your podcast in the future, and has general ability to make life uncomfortable for you and ask for a favor, you're more inclined to do it, right?
And the cracks in her narrative begin to widen. As the case progresses...
So, yes, does he have the power to do it? Yes. And I think a lot of people who are even a lot less powerful than Ari Emanuel would have the power to do that, so that doesn't surprise me at all.
A leaked audio recording from Ari Emanuel, a powerful agent in Hollywood, emerges.
Oh, just from a PR standpoint, if they both struck an agreement and walked away, that would be the smartest thing. Because it was never going to get any better from Lively after when she filed that California Civil Rights Division pre-complaint, right?
Serving as a potential smoking gun. This recording reveals that Justin Baldoni was blacklisted.
Okay, so I was able to read the amended complaint, which, by the way, it's very abnormal. It's almost 180 pages, 400 and some odd paragraphs. Complaints are not normally that long, but this one has to be for public consumption.
Not due to any wrongdoing on his part, but rather because of his associations with Lively and Reynolds.
So it kind of makes them look like they're trying to take that video, now that it's out, and kind of spin it in a different direction.
This revelation shifts the narrative dramatically, illustrating that Lively's claims have had a detrimental impact on Baldoni's career without any substantial evidence to support her allegations.
And that's why you think, like you mentioned before, that you think this video is the most damning evidence that Baldoni has so far.
I think so. And it's better than worse.
In a desperate attempt to bolster her case, Lively files an amended complaint that grows excessively lengthy.
It seems insurmountable. It seems like this case cannot be settled.
Ballooning to nearly 180 pages filled with irrelevant details and sensational claims.
Really what they did is they said, well, yes, all of that happened, but when Baldoni was in that scene dancing, he wasn't in character, and she was being forced to act as though she loved him, which is, in my mind, just acting.
Legal experts quickly criticize this document as a blatant attempt at media manipulation.
Blake Lively had changed some stuff up in her amended complaint. Now she is describing that dancing scene very differently than she did in her first complaint.
Rather than a serious legal claim. The sheer volume of the complaint raises eyebrows.
Her testimony won't even count. And That is a very, that's a harsh reality, because if the jury chooses not to listen to anything she has to say, she's the best witness in this case.
Suggesting that Lively is trying to bury the truth under a mountain of words.
I think this is like one of those cases that has enough of the bad feelings on both sides that it could potentially show up in the trial.
One of Lively's most damaging missteps occurs when she claims to possess a video that supposedly incriminates Baldoni.
That shifted the narrative, and she could have walked away and probably had a PR victory just off that document. Now, I think with the lawsuit going and both sides firing guns at each other, I think it's not going to get any better for either of them.
She hypes it up as the smoking gun that would end his career, only for the footage to leak and reveal her smiling and comfortable during the scene in question.
So they're trying to skew it kind of a different way.
This contradiction leads to further scrutiny of her credibility.
Because jurors are very bright, especially collectively. When they're all together, they all come from varied backgrounds. They're the smartest people in the room collectively, and they generally get the right result.
As it becomes clear that the main piece of evidence she built her entire case around is the complete opposite of what she claimed. Despite her attempts to play the victim,
because it's intensely personal, it's getting more personal. They're going to discover more information that's going to make them angry.
Lively's arguments continue to fall flat. Her legal team struggles to maintain a coherent defense.
So her testimony is super important in this case. And if you can show the jury that she's lied, juries don't like liars. Trials are about credibility.
And the judge emphasizes that celebrity status does not exempt one from legal accountability.
Trials are about the truth, and juries want the truth. And if you lie to them, they will hold it against you.
The courtroom becomes a battleground where the truth is paramount, and Lively's attempts to manipulate the narrative only serve to highlight her desperation.
Blake Lively made, and she lied in their minds about what occurred during that dancing scene because she wasn't aware that there was audio that would maybe explain and give some context to what was happening there. So of course she changes her in her amended complaint. She changes the view of it a little bit.
In a last-ditch effort to salvage her case, Lively's team seeks to suppress critical evidence, raising suspicions about their motives. Allegations of bribery surface.
Yeah, and you better hope that these HR complaints are genuine and credible. There's some credibility to them, because if we do learn that these were brought about by Blake Lively and her team, it's just going to compound already all the other bad facts that they're dealing with.
Suggesting a willingness to conceal damaging information in order to protect her image. This move backfires spectacularly, as it only adds fuel to the fire of public scrutiny.
Yeah, I mean, look, you got on Baldoni's side, you have one of the most aggressive entertainment lawyers in Hollywood. On the other side, you have very good lawyers in New York, and they are poised for battle. I don't think they're thinking right now at all about...
As the case spirals further out of control, Lively's PR team faces backlash.
I think they probably won't listen to any experts or advisors or lawyers at this point. It doesn't sound like this because they make so many mistakes and bad decisions.
With even media outlets refusing to support her claims. The situation worsens when Lively's team resorts to fabricating anonymous witnesses.
That's Blake Lively's PR firm begging to be let go of the case. I think actually they may have the worst messages of all.
Claiming that 2 actresses have had similar experiences with Baldoni. However, these witnesses remain nameless and lack any official documentation.
Or you could get into it and just get completely obliterated, because lawsuits are not pleasant. But it sounds like you have grounds to file a lawsuit.
Leading to widespread skepticism. The absurdity of the situation becomes apparent as everyone knows that if these so-called witnesses were credible...
And it's only to try to take back the narrative that Baldoni's team has done a very good job of. And perhaps the reason they've done such a good job on the Baldoni's team is because they have more truth on their side than perhaps Blake Lively does.
They would be testifying in court rather than leaking through Hollywood gossip blogs. The accusations against Baldoni escalate to ludicrous levels, with Lively's team attacking him for being too nice.
Leaked HR complaints that was circulated around last week, and a lot of people commented on them. They were not picked up by the press because they looked quite suspicious.
They frame kindness as a liability, suggesting that his positive demeanor somehow constitutes toxic behavior.
This is insane. What are you talking about? She genuinely is not aware of how insane she sounds.
This tactic backfires, drawing ridicule and further damaging Lively's reputation. The public begins to see through the smoke and mirrors, recognizing the desperation behind these unfounded claims.
It really is an impactful and powerful piece of evidence that's going to go against Lively, and that's why her deposition is not going to be pretty.
As the pressure mounts, Lively's PR firm attempts to distance itself from the case, signaling a loss of confidence in her defense. The involvement of former CIA agents for crisis management.
Right now, both sides are under strict orders to kill each other, and that's what's happening. Both sides are trying to kill each other, and right now, Baldoni's team is winning, hands down. Public opinion is completely behind him.
Underscores the severity of the situation. It becomes clear that Lively and Reynolds are willing to go to extreme lengths to salvage their public images, hiring professionals known for orchestrating cover-ups and managing scandals.
There were two new women who were willing to testify against Baldoni that they have been allegedly felt uncomfortable on set, but they didn't name them. But now it's already kind of leaked who they are.
However, even these seasoned operatives struggle to contain the fallout. The legal battle intensifies, and Lively and Reynolds' credibility continues to erode.
And so it's not just a lawsuit, it's a PR campaign. The fact that they didn't include the names, in my mind when I was reading it, made it felt like it wasn't real or it wasn't very credible.
Their attempts to suppress damaging messages from Taylor Swift raise further questions about their integrity and intentions. The public begins to wonder what secrets they are hiding and why they are so desperate to keep these messages buried.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have hired former CIA agents with a proven track record of lying to the public, gaslighting the public.
Ultimately, the case reveals a broader narrative about Hollywood's manipulation of public perception and the consequences of deceit. Lively's strategies fail, leaving her with two unappealing options.
While Team Blake Lively may think they have the upper hand, sources say she has no idea what's coming regarding her battle with Justin Baldoni.
Face a humiliating defeat in court or settle, further tarnishing her reputation. The fallout from this legal disaster is far from over, and the implications for Lively's career are profound.
Because not only could it be not good for the legal case, it's going to be an absolute nightmare for the PR side. And so I think the sooner that they can kind of figure out a path out of this, the better.
As the truth begins to emerge, the public watches closely, eager to see how this saga unfolds. The courtroom drama serves as a stark reminder that in the world of Hollywood, where image is everything, the truth has a way of surfacing.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, they need to listen to their lawyers, and they need to resolve this case if possible.
No matter how hard one tries to bury it. Lively's attempts to manipulate the media, control the narrative, and paint herself as the victim have backfired spectacularly, leaving her a cautionary tale of how quickly a carefully crafted public persona can crumble under the weight of reality.
You're basically saying you're a liar. You misrepresent who you are.
In the end, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds must confront the harsh truth. Their credibility is now completely destroyed. The legal system does not operate like Hollywood, where scripts can be rewritten and narratives can be controlled.
Number two, the SH has nothing to do with taking over the movie, even though she doesn't deny that she took over the movie. Of course, it'd be probably impossible to do that.
In court, the facts, evidence, and truth reign supreme, and Lively's case is a testament to the perils of attempting to manipulate that system. As the legal battle continues, the world watches, waiting to see how this dramatic saga will conclude.